Hi, K-pop lovers. Welcome back to our channel. Hey everyone, before we dive into this incredible story, make sure to hit that like button right now, drop a comment below telling us what you think, share this video with your fellow Blinks and K-pop fans, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on that notification bell so you never miss another update. Trust me, what you're about to hear isn't just another K-pop success story. This is about a strategic mastermind who completely rewrote the rules of the game, and I promise you'll want to stick around until the very end because the latest achievement from just 5 days ago in January 2026 will absolutely blow your mind. Now, let's talk about the move that made JENNIE absolutely unstoppable on the global stage. But before we get into the power move that changed everything, we need to understand where JENNIE started, because her journey to becoming a global icon required a level of sacrifice that most people can't even imagine. Born on January 16, 1996, in Seoul, South Korea, JENNIE grew up in an affluent family and spent part of her childhood in Auckland, New Zealand, becoming fluent in English while maintaining her Korean language skills. This international upbringing would later become one of her greatest assets. When she was just 14 years old in 2010, JENNIE made a life-altering decision. She gave up her plans to study abroad in the United States and returned to South Korea to audition for YG Entertainment, one of the most prestigious and notoriously difficult entertainment companies in the K-pop industry. She passed the audition, but what came next was 6 years of grueling training that would shape her entire character. In a recent interview on the YouTube channel Fairy Jae Hyung in January 2025, JENNIE opened up about just how tough those trainee years really were. She revealed that the training system at YG was based on constant monthly evaluations where trainees had to perform in front of the CEO, producers, and senior artists who would judge their progress. But the hardest part wasn't the performances, it was watching her friends disappear one by one as they were cut from the program. JENNIE admitted that at an age when most teenagers are learning about friendship, she was trapped in a system of brutal competition where survival meant becoming tougher than everyone around you. She had to keep telling herself, "I will debut no matter what," just to keep going. This mental strength that JENNIE developed during those 6 years would later become the foundation of everything she achieved, teaching her resilience, discipline, and the ability to thrive under pressure that few people could handle. During her trainee period, JENNIE earned nicknames like YG Princess because of her standout talent in singing, rapping, and songwriting. She appeared in G-Dragon's 2012 music video for That XX and was featured on tracks by major YG artists, building anticipation for her eventual debut. On August 8, 2016, JENNIE finally debuted as a member of Blackpink alongside Jisoo, Rose, and Lisa with Boombayah and Whistle. From day one, according to Jisoo, JENNIE was responsible for general duties and decision-making within Blackpink, essentially acting as an unofficial leader. Blackpink's rise was nothing short of historic. They became the first K-pop girl group to perform at Coachella in 2019, the first to headline the festival in 2023, and their Born Pink World Tour became the highest-grossing concert tour by a female group and Asian act in history. But even with all this success, JENNIE was hungry for more. In November 2018, JENNIE became the first Blackpink member to release solo music with her single, Solo, which immediately topped charts and became the first music video by a Korean female soloist to surpass 1 billion views on YouTube. She followed this up with You and Me in 2023, which reached #1 on Billboard Global Excl. US, and One of the Girls, featuring The Weeknd from the HBO series The Idol, where she made her acting debut, earning platinum certification from the RIAA. But here's where JENNIE's story takes the most important turn, the strategic decision that would make her truly unstoppable in the global music industry. In December 2023, all 4 Blackpink members renewed their group contracts with YG Entertainment but chose not to renew their individual solo contracts, freeing themselves to pursue independent careers. While her groupmates signed with different established companies, JENNIE did something revolutionary. In November 2023, she founded her own independent record label called ODD Atelier, giving herself complete creative control and ownership over every aspect of her solo career. This wasn't just about leaving a label, this was about JENNIE becoming a CEO, a creative director, a businesswoman, and taking full ownership of her brand identity at just 27 years old. But JENNIE knew that independence alone wasn't enough to conquer the global market. She needed the massive distribution power that only a major label could provide, so in September 2024, she made another brilliant strategic move by signing a groundbreaking partnership deal with Columbia Records while still maintaining full ownership through ODD Atelier. This hybrid model was revolutionary. It gave her the independence of an indie artist combined with the global reach of a major American label, creating the best of both worlds. And the results? Absolutely phenomenal. JENNIE's single, Mantra, dropped on October 11, 2024, and immediately exploded onto global charts, debuting at number 3 on the Billboard Global 200, number 2 on the Billboard Global XGL US chart, and breaking records as the highest-charting UK single by a Korean female solo artist at number 37. The song was praised for its empowering lyrics celebrating girl power and its infectious dance-pop production. JENNIE performed Mantra on Jimmy Kimmel Live, marking her first US television performance as a soloist, and the song was later certified gold by the RIAA in August 2025. Then came March 7, 2025, when JENNIE released her debut studio album Ruby, and it absolutely dominated the global music industry. Ruby sold over 1 million copies worldwide in its first week, debuted at number 7 on the Billboard 200, reached number 2 in Australia, and peaked at number 3 on the UK Albums Chart, surpassing her bandmate Rose to become the highest-charting album by a female K-pop soloist in UK history. The 15-track album showcased JENNIE's incredible versatility across pop, hip-hop, and R&B, and featured powerhouse collaborations with Childish Gambino, Dua Lipa, Doechii, Dominic Fike, FKJ, and Kali Uchis, proving that JENNIE had the star power to work with some of the biggest names in Western music on equal footing. Critics gave Ruby overwhelmingly positive reviews, with Rolling Stone naming it one of the 100 best albums of 2025 at number 29. The album spawned 5 successful singles, with Like JENNIE becoming her third number 1 song on South Korea's Circle Digital chart and peaking at number 5 on the Billboard Global 200. Its music video became Vevo's most-watched premiere of the year globally, marking the first time a K-pop artist topped the Vevo charts. JENNIE became the first K-pop female soloist to have 3 songs on the Billboard Hot 100 in the same week when Like JENNIE, Extra L, and Handlebars all charted simultaneously. To support the album, JENNIE embarked on the Ruby Experience tour from March 6 to 21, 2025, with intimate shows in Los Angeles, New York's iconic Radio City Music Hall, Seoul, and Paris. Then came her solo Coachella debut on April 13 and 20, 2025, where she performed a 50-minute set that felt like a full statement of her artistic identity. She brought out Kali Uchis for Damn Right in a moment that had the crowd losing their minds, and her Blackpink sisters Lisa and Rose were in the audience cheering her on with emotional hugs afterward that melted fans' hearts. The awards and recognition kept pouring in throughout 2025. In March 2025, she won the Global Force Award at the Billboard Women in Music Awards, becoming the first Korean soloist ever to be honored at this prestigious ceremony, with Kali Uchis presenting the award and praising JENNIE as a role model. In her emotional acceptance speech, JENNIE thanked her Blackpink sisters, saying, "Without them, this journey would have never happened." She became the most nominated and most awarded soloist at the 2024 Mama Awards with 4 wins, and at the December 2025 Melon Music Awards, she won Record of the Year, making history as the first soloist ever to win that grand prize category in Melon Music Award history. On streaming platforms, JENNIE became the first and only female K-pop soloist to surpass 3 billion Spotify streams in a single year. And now here's the jaw-dropping moment from January 2026 that I promised you. Just 5 days ago on January 10, 2026, at the 40th Golden Disc Awards held at the Taipei Dome in Taiwan, JENNIE became the most awarded artist of the night, taking home 4 trophies in a single ceremony. She won Digital Song Bonsang for Like JENNIE, another for Blackpink's Jump, the Global Impact with Prism Award, and the newly established Artist of the Year Grand Prize, the first person ever to win this prestigious award in Golden Disc history. In her acceptance speech, she reflected on reaching this milestone in her 10th debut anniversary year, saying, "I feel incredibly happy to be closer to my dream," and thanking fans, staff, and her Blackpink members. She performed "Filter," "Damn Right," and "Like Jennie" at the ceremony, earning thunderous applause from 40,000 fans. But Jennie's dominance extends far beyond music. She has built a fashion empire that rivals any celebrity in the world. Known as Human Chanel, since becoming a global ambassador for the luxury French fashion house in 2017, reportedly chosen by Karl Lagerfeld himself, Jennie has appeared in countless campaigns. She's also been a global ambassador for Calvin Klein since 2021, even launching her own exclusive capsule collection, Jennie for Calvin, in 2023. She represents Adidas, Korean luxury beauty brand Hera, and has collaborated with Gentle Monster on 3 eyewear collections that sold out globally in hours. She's worked with Jacquemus, Jean Paul Gaultier, Tambourines, and more. Every time Jennie wears something, it becomes a trend. She's known as the sold-out queen because she constantly creates viral fashion moments. This wasn't just about talent or luck. This was about Jennie understanding that in today's global music industry, you need to own your narrative, control your creative vision, and build strategic partnerships that amplify your reach without compromising your artistic integrity. She showed the world that K-pop artists don't need to choose between authenticity and commercial success, between Korean identity and Western acceptance, between being part of a legendary group and being a solo superstar. You can have it all if you're bold enough to create your own path. At just 29 years old, Jennie has her own entertainment company, a partnership with one of the world's biggest record labels, multiple brand ambassadorships worth millions, and she's still an integral part of Blackpink, who just wrapped up their Deadline World Tour in Hong Kong in January 2026 and announced their 3rd EP Deadline dropping on February 27, 2026. From a 14-year-old girl who gave up her education abroad to chase an impossible dream, to 6 brutal years as a trainee, to becoming 1/4 of the biggest girl group in the world, to founding her own company and signing a revolutionary partnership deal, to releasing a debut album that sold over 1 million copies and dominated charts worldwide, to winning the first ever Artist of the Year award at the Golden Disc Awards just days ago, Jennie has proven that the move to take complete control of her career was the single most important decision that made her truly unstoppable on the global stage. She didn't just break through barriers, she redefined what's possible for K-pop artists in the global market and created a blueprint for independence that other artists will study for years to come. So that's the move that made Jennie unstoppable, founding ODD Atelier, partnering with Columbia Records, taking full ownership of her artistry, building a fashion empire, and constructing a bridge between K-pop and the global music industry that's stronger than ever before. If this story inspired you, don't forget to smash that like button, leave a comment below telling us what you think was the most impressive part of her career, share this video with everyone who needs to know this story, and subscribe to our channel with notifications turned on for more incredible K-pop content. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Annyeong!